Okay, it's enough of mulling over doing these videos. So it's been a few weeks since I did my last one, and this is just an update on what's been going on. I say I've been doing pretty good the last few weeks, a lot better than before. I'm still doing the Dr. Richards audio session stuff, and basically in that he's not really telling me to go out and go out and do a bunch of socializing. It's basically just doing it on your own and doing mostly reading and changing your thoughts. There's like this, there's a term in it called automatic negative thoughts, abbreviated as ANTS, and you visualize, you don't necessarily have to visualize them, but just you're more aware of your negative thoughts, because behind social anxiety, that's what the main culprit is, right? Is all these negative thoughts going through your mind, making you feel all anxious and depressed about everything, and thinking way too much about what other people are thinking about you. So, yeah, that's basically what I've been working on the last 3 weeks. Getting used to stopping the thoughts, switching them around, and then filling your mind with a lot of positivity, just getting out of that negative mind frame into a more positive one. And the daily reading, like reading out loud and stuff, that's another thing I've been doing. I continue to do, and he recommends that you do it every day for about 30 minutes. And it makes sense. I didn't really understand what it was for at first. I talked a little about this in my last video, but it makes sense because it allows you to sink the therapy deeper down into your brain and just, get it into a subconscious level. And also work on your voice. Get used to hearing your own voice, because you're not talking all day, and when you do talk, you get to hear yourself, and my brain is going a little blank right now. I got thoughts going all over the place, but anyway, yeah, you talk and you hear yourself, and just get more used to actually talking out loud. So when you're out in public, you're already used to it. You already got your brain primed and stuff for talking. So while I have been doing this as well, I find I've also gotten a little into meditation. Honestly, I feel like starting over at this point. I wonder if I should. I don't know if this video is going as well as I'd like it to. I keep pausing, but whatever. But where was I at? Oh, I was talking about meditation and visualization techniques, or I was about to talk about that. But now that I'm trying to steadily get rid of the automatic negative thoughts, it leads me to wanting to, kind of center myself every day and stay in a positive mood. And it's a struggle, because the thoughts are always kind of there, and you're constantly changing them from negative to positive. At first, it's like every few seconds, and then after that, it turns into more of doing it every few minutes, And as you keep the consistency with it, it changes to, maybe every 10 minutes. And it just gets, the gap gets wider and wider and wider. And according to the handouts, Dr. Richard's handouts, eventually, subconsciously, it's just going to do it on its own, and you won't even need to consciously catch those thoughts and switch them around and do all that stuff. And when I start having like negative thoughts, on top of switching them around to positive, I do like some visualization techniques. Some of them might be a little weird, but it works for me. Basically, I'm a pretty visual person, so I imagine negative thoughts as, first off, I see a giant room in my head, and I see like this, it's kind of like a chamber, like a dark chamber, and in the center is like this, just like this, this pit, and there's a white flame, just like a giant white flame, that illuminates things around it. And it's kind of like high-tech. There's like these, blue lines and techie blue lines and stuff all over it. And I imagine negativity as just a square, like a cube. And it also has the blue lines going around it as well. And sometimes it's rusted metal, sometimes it's sort of newer looking metal. It doesn't really matter. But that's how I see it. And there's times where there's red lines going through it as well, and that represents like the really more negative thoughts. And based on how bad it is, I actually will I'll make it smaller or I'll make it bigger. Sometimes it's really huge if it's a thought that's really prevailing and it's really intense, and I'll see the thought as that, and I'll just send it into the fire and mentally watch it burn, and I'll feel myself actually start to get better. Another thing I use, or that I've stumbled upon, is like energy healing. I know some of the motions that I would do, like wherever I feel the anxiety, I will usually feel it here in my head, or like right in my heart area, almost like something is gripping my head and my heart. And so I would imagine it, just like expelling that energy out of me. Sometimes even using my hands and just like, sort of guiding it out in a way. And when I would do that, I find it kind of looks like Tai Chi. I've never done that before, but I wonder if that has some correlation, between like the movements that is done in Tai Chi. I'm sure it has something to do with that, whatever it is I'm doing, like staying in a more positive state, getting rid of negativity and all that. But that really works. Even with like physical pain, I found that works because I was exercising. That's something else I've been getting into lately, or I've been doing that for months actually. I didn't really talk about it before, but I got into exercising, and if you go without it for a long time, not only do you lose your stamina, but it's easier to injure yourself. And so I ended up, I don't know, I did something to my back the other day, and so it's been kind of hurting. I actually had some sharp pains back there for the last few days. And so I just imagined, I did a visualization technique, the energy healing, where I would just kind of imagine it being extracted out and into my hands. Well, I imagine somebody else's hands, usually like a goddess or something, and her hands are made of gold, and she's extracting the energy, the negative energy out, and the pain out. And sometimes I will Also see the pain as weapons, like rusted metal weapons that I'm pulling out, just steadily pulling out until I start feeling like it's getting better. And, these are all kind of odd techniques, but it's stuff that I do in my head to help, and it really does help significantly. I was kind of surprised. I mean, there's so much stuff you can do with your mind. I'm just kind of beginning on this new path, But, let's see what else. I don't want to really make this into a long video. It's already kind of long enough, but that's basically what I've been up to. And, what else did I have to talk about? Talking is easier for me now. Conversations are easier for me. I know, especially with people that I know at my job and just other people I come in contact with every day or every other day. It's easier to have small talk. I actually kind of look forward to it, even though there's days where it's like, I don't feel like it. I just do it anyway. And since I am doing the daily reading, the words come easier. So there's more of a direct link between my mind and my spoken words. It's just like, just now, like I didn't do the reading exercises today yet. So the beginning of this video is kind of choppy and I'm pausing and all this stuff, but now that I've got it going, it's a little easier for me. And, like I said, it just gets easier. And I can feel myself getting better. I know when I first started doing this, I noticed significant progress, and now it's more like, kind of, there's some days where I feel like I'm more or less plateauing, but I think that's just negative thoughts making me think that, this isn't working, you're not getting anywhere, so you should probably just give up, and I gotta turn those around so that I can keep going. This has been like 12 years of anxious feelings that I've been dealing with, so it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be a few weeks, not even going to be a month or so that I cure myself of this. It's going to take a while to undo all of that, because it's basically like we brainwashed ourselves unwittingly, but you've been brainwashing yourself with all these negative thoughts, and to the point where it happens automatically, and what you think you become, what you think you are, and if you think you can't do something, then sure enough, you're not going to be able to do it. It's going to be extremely hard for you to do. If you think you can't have a conversation with somebody, or you're not good at small talk, you're not really going to be good at that, and that's a mistake that we unwittingly do. Or you say, oh, I'm too shy, I can't really do that. Well, there you go, you're not going to be able to do it. But if you keep telling yourself, like, maybe I can do it, maybe I'm not so shy, maybe I'm more social than I think, it's just a matter of trying. Maybe if I think these positive thoughts continuously, I can get better, I can actually do this. And it's a struggle because you have to keep doing it. That's the hardest part, is that repetition. You just got to keep repeating over and over again and undoing the thoughts and switching them around, and it can be exhausting, but it pays off. It does pay off. And like I said, it's slow progress, very slow progress for me. But I am noticing that I am getting better, and that's the most important part. But, let's see, I'm coming up on 15 minutes, so that's basically all I wanted to talk about. I probably have more stuff to talk about, but I am not going to remember till I turn this off, probably. So, that's it for now. I'll do another video in the future. And I bet you're probably surprised I've not wait another year to do a video. So that's good. Anyway, I'll see you later, and yeah, that's it. See ya.